Good day. This is News Recap reaching you from Rulers World Television. I'm Olamade Bolariwa. Wike denies rift with military over Abuja land dispute. Female soldier alleged harassment amid ongoing army misconduct concerns. Toga demands full unedited Paris Morgan interview. Makinde faces backlash over Ibadan Circular Road expansion. Paystack's Ezra Olubi suspended amid misconduct allegations. Israel-Gaza aid crisis deepens as ceasefire holds but tension persists. Trump signs bill to end government shutdown in the US. Now the news and details. Minister of Federal Capital Territory FCT Yasam Wike has strongly rejected reports of a personal conflict with the Nigerian military following a public standoff with naval officers over a disputed parcel of land in Abuja. Wike emphasized that his reactions are grounded in respect for the rule of law, not sentiment, and insisted that any illegal land grabbing would not be tolerated, regardless of who is involved. He clarified that when FCT Territory Administration officials went to enforce development control on the site, they were allegedly driven away by armed military personnel. The minister stated he had personally raised the matter with the highest levels of the military, including the Chief of Defense Staff and the Chief of Naval Staff, and reiterated that disputes should be resolved institutionally, not through intimidation. He warned against sensationalist media coverage, urging journalists to verify facts and avoid misinterpretation. Meanwhile, retired Chief of Defense Staff General Lucky Irabo has weighed in on the controversy, framing the incident as not just a clash of personalities, but a matter of state symbolism and authority. In a keynote address, Irabo argued that military uniforms represent the power, dignity, and sovereignty of the nation. He cautioned the public disrespect for uniformed personnel undermines respect for the state if the individual in uniform is wrong. He also stressed that the military must be held accountable within the framework of law, but public humiliation or assault are not acceptable modes of civilian redress. Minister of State for Defense Bello Mutawale echoed Irabo's call for restraint. He argued that any misconduct by military personnel should be addressed through formal channels and criticized the public confrontation between Wike and the junior naval officer involved. In developing story highlighting ongoing concerns about misconduct in the Nigerian army, a female soldier, Corporal Miriam Agumba, has come forward with allegations of harassment and intimidations by senior officers. She claimed that after reporting misconduct, she was threatened and intimidated, raising bias for her personal safety, and the issue were escalated internally. The Nigerian Army has previously faced scrutiny over the case of former Private Truth Ogunleye, who has accused senior officers of sexual harassment. While Ogunleye's case was officially closed after the Army cleared the accused officers and discharged her on medical grounds, civil society groups have criticized the lack of transparency, warning that similar abuses may persist within the ranks. Advocates for women's rights and civil society organizations have called for publication of investigation outcome in both cases, stressing the need for institutional reforms to protect female personnel from harassment and to ensure accountability within the military. The Federal Ministry of Women Affairs has also pledged support, promising skills training and reintegration assistance to soldiers affected by abuse. Foreign Affairs Minister Yusuf Tuga has publicly demanded that his recent interview on Piers Morgan uncensored be had in full without cuts or editing. Tuga argued that he appeared on the show to challenge misleading narratives and allegations of religious persecution in Nigeria, and insisted that its remarks were backed by verifiable data. He warned that selective editing would distort Nigerians' image, adding that Nigerians' truth must not be distorted to fit external biases. In response, Piers Morgan said the full interview will be aired, asserting that the show's name, uncensored, speaks to its commitment to transparency. Meanwhile, the federal government, including Minister of Information Mohammed Idris, has strongly denied allegations of religious persecution or genocide in Nigeria, calling the claims false and damaging. Residents and property owners in Ibadan have renewed protests against Governor Sheyi Makinde, accusing his administration of threatening livelihoods through the expansion of the Circular Road corridor. According to the demonstrators, Makinde is attempting to increase the road setback from the originally approved 150 meters to 500 meters, a move they say was never properly communicated or negotiated. The protesters, drawn from 6 local government areas in Ibadan, claim that the expanded corridor will result in widespread demolitions, displacing thousands of homes. They have called on the governor to honor prior assurances to maintain the 150-meter boundary, warning that further encroachment threatens not just property, but the very fabric of their communities. Governor Makinde, however, dismissed much of the protest as politically motivated. He reiterated his administration's vision for the 130-kilometer circular road as a key infrastructure project will be balanced with the welfare of existing residents, and insisting that only genuine landowners will be engaged in dialogue. Paysa, the fintech company backed by Stripe, has suspended its co-founder Ezra Olubi following accusation of sexual misconduct involving a subordinate. The company confirmed that a formal investigation has been launched and Olubi has been removed from all duties pending the outcome. The controversy reignited after a series of Olubi's past tweets from 2009 to 2013 resurfaced. This post reportedly included inappropriate sexual jokes about colleagues, references to minors, and sexual explicit content, drawing widespread condemnation online. Olubi has not publicly responded to the allegation, and his ex, formerly Twitter, was deactivated in the wake of the backlash. Pester said its investigation will be fair, transparent, and structured, guided by internal policies and its commitment to a safe workplace. Humanitarian agencies have raised renewed alarms over the worsening humanitarian situation in Gaza, despite the temporary ceasefire that has slowed active hostilities. The United Nations Relief and Work Agency, UNRWA, criticized Israel for several restricting the entry of food, medical supplies, and other essential items, warning that the aid currently reaching the enclave is far below what is required as winter approaches. Meanwhile, Israel announced that it has received the body of one of the last 4 hostages held by Hamas. The transfer was facilitated by the International Committee of the Red Cross, marking another step in ongoing behind-the-scenes negotiations aimed at finalizing hostage-related arrangements under the current truce framework. Israeli officials says the investigation into the circumstances, of the hostages' death is ongoing. Despite the ceasefire, tensions remain high in the wider region. Israeli forces carried out pre-dawn raids in parts of the occupied West Bank, arresting several Palestinians in Nablus, Jenin, and Seward. Palestinian Authority condemned the operations, saying they risk destabilizing the fragile camp. Analysts warn that although major fighting in Gaza has paused, the humanitarian crisis and ongoing security operations elsewhere could reignite broader unrest. United States President Donald Trump has signed a bill officially ending the United States government shutdown, bringing relief to federal agencies and workers after a week of stalled operations. Trump on Wednesday signed a bipartisan spending bill, effectively ending the partial government shutdown that paralyzed several federal departments. The shutdown, which lasted for 43 days, has forced thousands of federal workers into unpaid leave and disrupted key services nationwide. Trump, in his speech, maintained that the move was a temporary solution to reopen governments while the states continue negotiations to offer Americans this deserved fully functioning government. The bill, passed by both the House and Senate, restores funding to critical departments and authorizes back pay for affected. Analyst says while the move is welcome, it only provides temporary relief and highlights the deep political divide over budget and policy priorities between the Republicans and the Democrats. That will be all for now on Rulers World Television. For more updates, visit our website at www.rulersworldtelevision.com and do subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rulers World Television, and follow us on our social media handle X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, all at Rulers World Television. I'm Olwade Bolariwa. Thank you for watching.